Okay. Love is Blind is back. And it's still bad, but admittedly better than the last couple seasons. You know, I could complain and whine forever, but this series is like Pokemon. It comes out every other year and it starts off cute, adorable, very loving, but inevitably morphs into looking like your drunk, alcoholic dad by the end. So, going into this, expectations were exceedingly low. And let's be real, Ohio. Like, Ohio, come on. We are not about to be getting our best, but somehow this season is better than expected. It still has its weirdo pits, but it also has some all-time good couples. Now, for the pods, we're gonna skip over most of this because it's your usual affair of people making spirited declarations that in actuality have the structural integrity of a wet napkin. Most of this was forgettable. The real meat of this section of the show was the love triangle between Kia, Kevon, and Tyler. And this was just a clusterfuck because this guy couldn't make a decision to save his life. He was doing more flip-flopping than your mom's shoes when you're acting out. Absolutely abysmal performance here. I'm happy he seems to have done some self-reflection, but this was just a nasty performance. Remember, big time players make big time plays in big time games, and he fumbled crazy bad. To the people, who fumbled more, Drake May or Kevin? It's tough to say. But for this section of the show, the MVP easily goes to these two ladies who got the hell up out of there and said, oh, you can't make a decision? Cool, I'll make it for you. And that's what I'm talking about. Self-loathing, never. Settle for less, never. So many more couples need to be on this kind of energy when it comes to the show. It would save all of them so much time. Now, to the couples that made it out of the pods. Alex and Ashley, Jordan and Amber, Mike and Emma, Devante and Brittney, Vic and Christine, Chris and Jessica, and Connor and Bree. Of these, let's start with the most mysterious couple, the one that if they get married, somebody's gotta do house checks for old girl here. Alex and Ashley. The positives of this couple. They are attractive. That is it. Now for the negatives. I don't even know what to say about this dude, because anything can be true about him. Was he even on the show? Does he exist? Do we exist? Is he a trick of the light? Nothing certain can be said about this man beyond that he used to play soccer. And even then, I'm not that sure. Alex is a conundrum of a person where quite genuinely anything can come out about this dude, and I would believe it. Even his job is a nothing burger. Day trading is the most mercurial profession ever. Due to day trader are either actually unemployed or seeking out tax breaks for their extreme losses. There is no in between. This dude talks so much and none of it feels like anything. It feels like a jumble of placeholder words. What does in 5 years I see myself living in Florida with a phenomenal house and a potential trust in Dubai and a safe house in Queensland even mean? Dog, you are a soccer coach. There's nothing wrong with that, but are we just playing word games with each other? And the bottle conversation was hella unhinged. Just this whole thing is so unsettling. Shout out to Ashley's dad for putting his feet to the fire. Like every single parent on this show should be doing this. He gave him that full court press and at the end of it correctly called bullshit on everything he was saying. My most generous take for Alex is that he is a dude who has dealt with so much trauma, from his dad leaving him to his dreams being taken away from him and just the transient lifestyle he's had to lead, that he's just learned to cope by always having an answer for every situation, because facing reality, admitting that he's not okay, is just something he's not willing to accept. Which is just a shame, because some quiet contemplation and therapy would probably heal the hell out of this dude. And before anyone comes out here and accuses me of being a needless man-hater, the hate extends also for Ashley. Because, girl, come on, girl, you know how crazy this is. Everything about this is a red flag, and you're playing along with it like this is normal. You have a good career that broski is trying to have you set fire to. And for the most part, it seems like you're super down for it. Tap in, because I'm telling you, traditionalism is dead. We are all too poor for that. It's much more sensible to run away from bro. This situation is just too toxic and it's very self-evident. No one is going to feel bad for you when it inevitably turns to shit. For the marriage and reunion, I'm saying unfortunately bad decisions will win again, and I expect to see 2 yeses at the marriage ceremony and a heated, angry confrontation at the reunion. I have zero expectations for this to last up to the reunion. Next, Jordan and Amber. This couple, man, this couple is so cute. This is what Love is Blind should be. two sane people who have problems and insecurities, but there is a strong, palpable wanting for things to work out on both sides. This is the adorable couple that will put me on a ledge if they don't make it. They are so lovable and they deserve so much because even when they're fighting, they remain reasonable, good people. When they fought after the first meetup at the bar, it was such a reasonable adult conversation that was had. These are two sensible people. Amber's a mom, first and foremost. Of course she's going to be wary at any moment when introducing any man to her daughter. That's her kid and she just wants the best for her. So when she leaves for a little bit, you completely get her having the yips. And for him, it's a lot to potentially be someone's stepdad, and having a laissez-faire attitude towards it would be much more of a red flag. The fact that he's nervous and thinking about it really gave me the appreciation that he is taking everything that's happening seriously. Look, Love is Blind is a show where nobody should ever be getting married on. You know, this is not really the perfect context for it. But if we're gonna indulge in the fantasy a little bit, I am kind of really rooting for them. And I'm gonna say for the marriage, they're gonna make it to the altar and they're gonna make it to the reunion. I'm betting on both. I really have high hopes in this couple. Next, Mike and Emma. Yeah, this one is sus. This is a clown car one, where I'm more curious than empathetic about it. Like, I just want to see what happens. I'm fully expecting the worst, but you know what? This is reality TV, and I'm here for a show. So these two should most definitely not be getting married, because that kid debate is no joke. And Emma, please, you can't be out here saying bro was your number one when we all know that is not the truth. Low-key, you took the last lifeboat on your sinking relationships. No shit on you, I would do the same, but let's just be so real. And this whole thing is a mess because I don't feel like anyone is being really serious about the question of having kids. I completely get her reasoning for why she's hesitant about it, but dog, like shrugging and being all over the place about having kids is nasty ground to find yourself on. This one is kinda just sad. Like, shout out to the sister because she is the realest motherfucker out here, because she came out here and said, hey, I probably wouldn't have had kids if I did it again, and that is such a real answer. I know some people are being dickheaded about that, but let's be so real about this. We all know a couple that has kids and they hate their lives. Telling her straight that this stuff isn't sweet is real big sister stuff. Looking out for her completely. And for those saying, what will those kids think about this when they watch the show? Dog, they'll be fine. Look at you. There are a little too many broken families and sub 20-year age gaps between parents and children for all of you to have been wanted. And you turned out fine. Kinda. All I'm saying is we just got the being a mother is freaking bullshit trilogy. Did we all not learn from this? And this dude, I'll be honest, I've not really been paying attention to him. He seems fine. His family's a bit strong for my taste. But look, this whole thing is just two people that need to be honest with each other. Because kids are a hell yes or nothing kind of thing. You gotta really want them and anything else should be a no. Mike, she does not want to have kids and convincing her to have them is just a nightmare waiting to happen. Him pulling up at the altar asking her, you gonna have my kids or not, was masterful TV making by the lacheys. Absolute simmer. Crazy stuff. But hey, if you procrastinate until the last freaking minute, I guess this is what happens. And Emma, you get one sigh at max at the altar. The fact you took 3 is crazy. Had this hand's heart in his ass. Straight riddle she was pulling up at the altar. For him, I don't know what's gonna happen. I kind of think he's gonna pull off a last minute stunner because he didn't really super answer the question, but you know, I think that's what's gonna happen. My opinion, I think he's gonna say no at the altar, but somehow they're gonna be together at the reunion. It's gonna be interesting if nothing else. It's gonna be a really interesting unit. So yeah, let's see what happens when sheer force of denial propels them all the way to reunion, but okay. Next, Devante and Brittney. Now, I was pretty asleep at the wheel with this couple throughout the pods because I didn't care, but what really woke me up was when they meet and this brother, this homie, said, I fell in love with Brittney. Just so happened that she's a woman of color. You know, that is something that I've never actually dated, let alone proposed to.
What do you mean by that?
Are you telling me that you are not...
Yeah, I'm not a woman.
White? Oh, the deception!
Biracials, I'm so sorry. Media has done you guys so dirty. Generational aura debt is being cast upon you because every single time you get your weakest soldiers onto the screen and they're giving you some real nightmare PR. Brittney, I know you bought that dress, but you do not need to lock in like this with this man. He's just got deeply messed up racial identity issues, so it's not you being delusional. This man is not complimenting you because he's constantly having the brown paper bag taste in his mind when he sees you, and that has nothing to do with you. All of that has to do with him. I guess maybe we could give him the benefit of the doubt that the family stuff he was going through really is throwing him off this much, but with the edit, we are all seeing it's not looking too good for him. Also, dropping that prenup thing at the end was mad nasty work, dog. This is the kind of thing you do well in advance. What were you thinking, broski? Like, if you don't like that woman, just tap out. Just get up and out of here. Your city needs you. For marriage and reunion, this is a wild card because delusion might make the strongest case, but I'm gonna go with my gut and say no to marriage and no to reunion. And now, Vic and Christine. Vic and Christine, this couple was kinda absent throughout the season. Like, they didn't go to Cabo, they were not with the drama like everyone else. They'd pop up here and there and just have amiable conversations about their future. There was not much spiciness going on here, and some people could even say that this couple was boring, but I need all of you with ears to stretch them out and hear this. You have an unhealthy attachment to drama and are unable to be pleased. When Love is Blind is shoveling trash seasons where everyone is the villain, no one is compatible, and everyone is a deeply unhealthy individual, you complain that this isn't what I asked for. I want love, I want connection, I want romance, not this trashy 2000s era garbage. But when it's actually given to you, you do this. Come on guys, lock it in. I like this couple a lot. I'm putting them down for yes at the altar and yes at the reunion. If they don't make it, it's over. It's completely over for all of us. It's best now just pack it up and call exes and say, hey, you did me dirty, but these streets are even more trifling. Next, Chris and Jessica. Look, this dude is just a textbook example for insecurity, and I want to come at this with some nuance that admittedly he doesn't deserve, and we will do some trashing of him in a minute, but first I want to talk about how nasty insecurity is. We all are insecure about something. Think about whatever you lie to other people about or over-exaggerate about in yourself. That is most likely the thing you are insecure about. For most people, it's just like career success, looks, money, intellect. It can generally be about anything that you feel you are not meeting some standard to. And part of growing up is breaking down this false narrative of yourself and becoming more real as a person, because inevitably this is a losing game. At some point, someone will ask where the money is, where the beauty is, and no amount of curation will paper over this. And for Chris, we are seeing this in real time. Chris wants to present himself as this cool, strong, tough, badass man, and because he's insecure about being a real man's man, he lashes out at Jessica because her success, beauty, and compassion challenges the ideas he has about being a man. He didn't call Jessica unathletic because that is a real truth. I mean, just look at her, come on, let's get real. He said that because she intimidates him. At the bar, when he was trying to muscle in on Bree, he was trying to tear that man down because he is insecure about his masculinity in this environment. Very disappointing stuff over here. Low-key, all of us short dudes, we need to unionize against dating shows because we are getting some atrocious PR from this. We may never recover from this. Netflix, please, if you're gonna show supervillains, just let them be tall and let us petite princes rest, because holy hell. Jessica is perfect, beautiful, accomplished, rich. She literally saves lives. We the shorties will literally have to cure it like cancer just to get back to pre-Love is Blind or higher PR levels. There's really not much to go on with Chris and Jessica, to be honest. It's very obvious, and this is just a cautionary tale of how not facing yourself will end up with you being emotionally stunted in the long run. Obviously, no to marriage, no to reunion, and yeah, there's not much else to say about this couple, yeah. Next, Connor and Bree. So this one's actually kind of funny because this is the only one where I can actually say that the woman is the problem here. Like most of this list, it's been the dudes, and you know, sometimes it's been like a 50-50 at least. But here, it's fully Bree. And I want to be fair, I don't think that Bree is a mean girl. I think she is a reforming mean girl. She is someone who is willing to actively critique herself and try hold back against her worst excesses. The problem here is that patriarchy works horribly for everyone, and I think she is being pulled into the ideas of it that TV has taught her to want, and reality is giving her a whiplash experience. Because Connor is a good guy, he's calm, mature, and yes, he has problems like the beer keg, but also, like, guys, if you expect your partner to be a fully formed person, it's gonna be a little bit of a shit show. From everything we've seen about him, he seems just very calm, focused, and like a reasonable, rational adult who can do things, and he's responsible financially. Like so many of the couples we see on Life is Blind, that is not even like a third of the case for them. Sometimes the dudes on these shows be giving Lex Luthor a run for his money. I will say though that the editing and producers for the show are doing something devious, because if you watch just like the last conversation they have before the wedding starts, Bree is looking like a straight up Disney villain in this Devil Wears Prada fit. It's crazy how they made her look like this, straight in a villain's robe. I feel so bad for the kinds of things she's probably getting online for this episode, but you know what? I will say that telling a dude that you don't know whether he is her person or a lesson is the most vile thing ever. Like, that's all you, dog. That's crazy. And that convo she had with Chris was just diabolical. She took herself away from the edge, but let's be real, who left that conversation thinking that there wasn't a piece of her kinda interested in what he was putting down? And as a note, let's all put it together. Anyone who uses the word alpha unironically, you are always going to be the problem and you need to do some healing. If anything, I'm going to say I think they are obviously not going to be married, but there is a good chance at the reunion she pops up with Chris and it's going to be as gross and weird as it sounds. So yeah, Love is Blind High has happened and we will see March 4th what has been going on for these couples and if my predictions are in any way accurate. Hopefully this video comes up before then, but who knows. I'll probably make 1 or 2 more videos on this depending on if you guys like it. Like and subscribe, that's kind of the only way I know what you guys want, so yeah, thanks.